Hi guys, and thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to make some faux stamps. So not all these ideas are my original ideas, but I wanted to have a look at all the different styles and processes that you can do at home yourself using various things like stamps, papers, scissors, etc. So okay, let's get started. So I have stamped just in different colors. You will see black, red, green, blue, just some images there. The stamp set I used for these ones in particular is the Tim Holtz Field Notes, and I used the bird, the butterfly and the flowers. So I stamped out a heap on some coffee dyed paper. So it's quite thin and but enough body just to have it on its own. And you'll see that I've gone round the edges with some pinking scissors. So these ones are dressmakers pinking scissors. You can basically pick up a set of those on Amazon for around the $13 mark, $14 mark. I've had mine for quite a while, so they are getting a little bit stiff. So stamped out a heap of images, as you can see, with scraps. So a couple of ways to use these is just the paper themselves, just cut out with the pinking shears around the edge. You can then distress it a little bit if you want to make them a little bit more grungy or vintagey. And I'll cut this one out, and then we're going to stick it on some cardstock or some paper scraps. I just eyeball it too. You don't have to be too particular. This one I've stuck on already. I've done straight lines on this one, so if you don't have the pinking shears and you want to have a go at these, of course you can do straight lines. So just using a glue stick. Put it on there. And then using the pinking shears. Cutting the outside just to give it that postage stamp effect. And then of course you can distress that a little bit, go around the edge. If you've stuck it on already like this one, don't be shy though to run that over that as well, if you like that grungy look. It will also blend it into the papers for you. Okay, so that's one effect there. Actually, this is a nice wood grain background. Let's stick that one on. So you can use any of your paper scraps for this. You can coordinate colours. So I could cut that straight if I wanted to, and it'd look like a little windowed picture. But today we're making stamps, so pinking shears again. You can choose a wide border, a thin border. If you wanted that a little bit thinner, you just go back over it like that and trim it down a little bit. So that one we might grunge up a bit as well, staying with the brownie tones. The distress ink I'm using here today is frayed burlap. I actually like it. It's not too dark, and it's you know, still brown, your brown tones. So there's a couple of ideas just with those stamped images. So you can do so much with them. This one here, I've put the green on the green background. I actually like that mottled background. We might cut those out and see how they come up. Might have put those a bit close together, but we can do a thinner border around. There's no right or wrong with these. Just to even that side up a little bit. So on. You can see how quick it is too. Just, you know, those few minutes, even though the images were stamped prior, you can build up your ephemera stocks quite quickly. And they're a nice little element to just add on tucks and pockets, especially if you want a little bit of a pop color. So you can see just with a patterned background, you don't get too much of the pattern, but it's better than your plain green. It sort of breaks it up a little bit. And then of course you can distress that if you wish. This one here, you can see it's quite a busy background there, but I wanted to show you that we're only really putting a border around it just for that pop of color. So you can see this one here, I went with like a check background. So dark backgrounds can actually make your image pop as well. Hard lining it up with that pattern. I have to put my glasses on. This one here, green. I think it was maps background. It's like a really light olive. So there you go. So that's one process that you can do with your stamped images. I'll just put those to the side and we'll move on to the next one. And of course, like I said, you can just simply cut these out and have them just on your coffee dyed paper or your vintage paper. Just like that. And just like that. Just so easy. And you will find, if you have a look in all your stamps and things like that, you'll have some smallish images, whether it's a flower, a butterfly, a bird. So we'll move those to the side. I will cut those ones later. I had a bit of a mass stamping day just with my scraps of coffee dyed paper. Don't ever throw them out. They really come in handy for little projects like this. The next one, which I absolutely love this stamp, it's a background stamp from Hero Arts. I'm not sure whether you can still get it, but that's it there. And it's called Bug Collection Bold Prints. And it's just one stamp. So I've stamped out a page with that, and I've cut a few little of the images here just to show you what you can do with that as well. So I've used some craft cardstock on the back there. So cut out a few images. This one I've distressed already. Then if we just glue it on to the background there. other one while I'm at it. You can just dress these either before you stick them on or after. So I've popped that one further enough along because when I do a cut through there, I want there to be enough room for the border. Distress. I like the darker edge on the bigger ones. And depends on what you're putting it on too. If you're putting it on some neutral backgrounds, it's nice to have a bit of a darker edge there, but that's the bugs. You may have a bug, beetle, butterfly stamp, once again, that you can stamp on coffee dyed paper. That's what this one was stamped on with the archival. You might want to colour them in and add some colour to them. So that's another style and process of how to use your stamps, making faux stamps. Another one is using stickers. So I've stamped a background with on my coffee dye paper, and the stamp I used is the Stampers Anonymous Ledger Script. So I've actually used both of those for the background. I just did various stamping around just to get a bit of a contrast on there with that. And we will cut one out, and then like we did before, just putting it on the craft paper, but the stamped background actually gives you just a bit of texture. And they're just stickers, those butterflies. So we stamp our background, pull out your stickers. If you don't have stickers, then you might have some ephemera that you've had cut out from a magazine. I do a lot of fussy cutting of images, birds, butterflies. So you'll always find something in your stash. And the sticker just gives it that focal point. Add a bit more glue to the corner there. I missed it for some reason. And just grunge it up a little bit. You can come over onto the paper like that if you wish. And that's those ones. This one here, I haven't added it to cardstock. I have just cut it out from the paper itself, like this. So it's just a sticker on coffee dyed paper with a stamped background of the ledger script. And then we'll just highlight the edges and grunge it up a little bit. So if you're adding that to something else that already has layers, it's good to just have that that thin stamp. Otherwise, if you want something with a bit more substance in it and some layers, then you go with your cardstock on the back of there. But that's stickers on that one. The next one, which I loved when I did this, I don't know whether it's an original idea, but I did come up with it this morning using washi tape. So I found this washi tape in my stash, and it's actually bugs, butterflies and birds. So there's a lot of washi tapes like these on the market. If it's not bugs or birds, you will have washi tape with something similar, whether it's a pattern, etc. So I've added them to just a bit of coffee dyed paper, just so it's got something to stick to, and I've cut them out. So with this one, I'm just using straight scissors, even though they have a little bit of a edge to them already, because they are designed to be stamps anyway. And then we can add it to a little bit of coloured paper, or we can go the craft cardstock. Just with your glue stick. Actually, I might go down this side, it's already cut, so I might go down that side. So how quick and easy is that? I then added some to the text background, the stamped background. So I've got one already stuck on there, so we'll cut that one out. And as you can see, there's a couple there, and they look really good on that stamped background. They sort of blend into themselves, really. Just so much fun playing with all your scraps, and it's a good way to get rid of your scraps too. I never throw out my leftover coffee dyed paper. You can always put a saying on it, an image, some words, stamp some little labels out. So that's that one. I love that script look on that one. And here's a couple that I've put on. That's on the craft cardstock, just on some green card, and I've grunged it up a little bit. That's it plain, so it's personal preference. If you've got a journal that's not so much vintage and you want a little bit of a pop of colour being the green, then definitely don't have to distress it at all. So we'll pop that one aside. That was a lot of fun with those washi tapes. I think I originally got that washi tape on AliExpress, but I have had it a while, so it's losing its stickiness a little bit. Okay, and another way of doing it too, if you were limited in your stocks, you had some stamps, a bit of paper, maybe some coloured inks. I stamped out an image here using this background stamp of mine. It's a Hero Arts one. It's quite old actually. Doesn't have a name on it. Beautiful stamp to do backgrounds and that, but I've cut it up, and you can just simply cut a piece off like that. So it's got a square edge, and stick it on some craft stock, or you could put it on green. You could put it on some of the vintage background here, if we have a look at a piece for that. Let's Let's cut a piece out so we can get a bit more of an idea, just a few more ways of doing things. You might think, oh, that's too busy, it gets lost, but then we will distress the outside and see what we come up with. It's about playing around too, having a go at something. And what's it cost us? It's cost us a few scraps. You could probably distress that before you put the border on, but if we just go and highlight the border like this and just the edge of that image so it blends it in a little bit. I guess a little bit like using gesso when you blend something. You might just give it a quick dust, just get rid of that stark white. See, it's a postage stamp. If you've got some of those little round postage labels, you can stamp on those as well, or once you have it attached to your image, you can put the stamps over it. Then you can put them on postcards, envelopes. You can make them as big or as small as you like. So if we have a look at these bug ones, you could do a very small one in those patterns as well. That's one I've got there. Let's put it on some coloured cardstock just to give it another look as well. Probably not that one. It's got the wood grain again. I'm just doing the edge of it there, not so much the edge of the cardstock, or I'll give it a quick run around because it's already dark. And that's it there again. You could pop a sticker over the top of that, like we could put get one of our butterfly stickers and put over the top of that. Have I got one here? Just another different idea. Okay, so that's that one. And the last one I've got to show you is once again the stamped background. I've got some flower stickers here that I have stuck on there, and that one there, isn't that beautiful? That's on the stuck on the craft stock and cardstock, and this one is just on the stamped coffee paper, and it's been distressed around the outside. So I'm going to cut these ones out to show you the two different ones there. One going on the craft cardstock and the other one we'll just do plain. So I guess the size of your stickers will determine the size of your stamps, although I've cut the stems off on this one just so they're not too big. Okay, let's distress this one. That one there, and I'll distress this one and then we'll stick it on. I've got a piece that's big enough. Hope you guys are having a great day today. It's really sunny and beautiful here today. Not a cloud in the sky. The temperature is just perfect. It's just a beautiful time of year. We did have a little bit of rain yesterday, so it settled the dust. And then we're just going to cut around that one with the pinking scissors again. You can also get, apart from the zigzaggy ones of these, you can now get the scallop ones as well. So I'm yet to get a pair of those. I'm going to go in a bit closer on this one. And then we'll just distress around that one as well. Beautiful. They are a bit bigger with the stickers, but I actually like that because, you know, if you're going to highlight the stamp and you're putting it on a pocket or a tuck, then you want it to be a little bit bigger than, say, you know, your normal postage size stamp like that, which is great for if you're making little clusters and that. You can have some words out the side, put some material behind it or some different cardstock behind it. You know, you could go in and make, you know, little clusters like that. So I'm just going to recap through all the different ones that we've done today. So this one is your stamped images on coffee dyed paper, and then we've used some flower stickers on there, and we've also put some on craft cardstock. You could put it on purple cardstock, any yellow cardstock, anything to match with that, depending on the journal that you're making at the time too. Then we've done, we did a mass stamping with some different coloured inks, and we've just cut them out. They're on coffee dyed paper. Just cut them out with the edge, so they're just a normal paper stamp. We then used that same image and we went to different cardstocks we put on there just to highlight them. Again, once again, depending on what you're putting it on and what colours you need, but I think it's a great way to add a little pop of colour. Sometimes our vintage journals can start looking a little bit brown, if you know what I mean. So a little pop of colour is great, and we don't always just want to use a label with that to add colour. We want to add some little different points of contrast in there. We also used our butterfly stickers. So here's what we made with the butterfly stickers. It's on the ledger stamped coffee dye paper. That's just with the paper, and then we've added it to the craft cardstock as well, but you could add it to, you know, different cardstocks, papers, whatever you've got in your stash. Mix it up and have variety. Oh, that one there, we went with the stamped background pattern just to have a look at how, if we didn't have a lot of stickers or washi tapes or, you know, butterflies or bugs, how could we still make these stamps? Well, then get one of your background stamps, stamp it out on your coffee dye paper, or normal paper's fine. Cut it up into little squares or rectangles, add it to something, and then, you know, cut the edge out. You can always also, if you've got stickers, add another element to that as well. But that was quite fun doing that. Then we had our bugs. So that was from the Hero Arts background stamp, and the bugs are just beautiful. They're like little specimens, really. So that's your original cutout image. Distress it if you wish, add it to a background page. You could add add that to any type of background as well, just for something different. As you can see, you'd grunge it up. That's that one. You may have butterflies or bug stamps in your stocks. And then we had some fun with some washi tape. So we put washi tape on coffee dyed paper. We then added the stamp, we cut the stamp out and we added it to a stamped script background like that, and we didn't attach any cardstock to it. That one there we actually put on the craft cardstock, and these ones were put on the patterned paper cardstock that we had. So guys, I think there's about 8 different styles there for you to have a play with, depending on what you have in your stash in relation to your papers, stamps, stickers, ephemera, anything you've got. You don't have to make them small either. If your image is bigger, make it bigger. You put it on a pocket or a tuck, or somewhere in your journal. There'll always be a place in your journal for beautiful ephemera. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions, please list them below. I hope you can have a go at these. I would love to see some photos. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comments. I will endeavour to get back to them for you. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and once again, thanks for stopping by. Bye.